It's done in 3 days. But we want this done right. We still need some information to come in just for the files, so it's necessary. And given,
What I want to know is about time frame.
that's what I'll give you. Yeah,
Your time frame.
That's the main thing. Well, the trial balance has been adjusted. We're gonna get these forms, and I talked to Jerry today about, said, what is the worst case of getting it to you? And we'll have the whole thing to you by the end of the month, if not earlier. I'm gonna try to do it early, but, it'll be no later than the end of this month. You'll have the submitted report. Okay.
That's
2016.
That's right.
And what about the 17?
Well, 17, and Mike can give you more information on this, but I know that, Jimmy, I can't remember, what's Jimmy's last name? Whitaker, that's it. He's working with Mike to massage those numbers, because 17 included part of your old computer system, and then in the middle of that year, y'all transferred over to the new system. So there's some cleaning up that he's almost finished with, and when that's finished, then the 17 on can be started. And hopefully it's gonna be going faster, as we work on these things, we gain familiarity. It takes a while to like, how does the city do this? Where does this come from? And it takes a little while to work at it. Each year you do it, you gain more familiarity. And so with what Jimmy Whitaker's doing in the new report, that once 17 is finished and you got the trial balance, it'll go much faster than what we had before.
From the time that you get that trial balance to the time that you get that data that you're getting from Jim, how long are you gonna need?
Well, I'll give you, I'm gonna have to defer a little bit to Jerry on this, but with the one when we were looking at 16, it was like, well, there's no problem. So like I said, we did run into some problems. So Jerry, what would you think would be a realistic time frame? If we got the trial balance from mine, the documents we need, what do you think?
16, 17.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, sometimes I tend to be optimistic, and I'll give you a good day, and it's like, oh my goodness, I didn't see this coming. I think that Jerry's trying to be cautious, and he doesn't promise more than what might be expected.
Let's see what he comes up with.
Yeah, I'm curious too.
Well, generally what we have found in doing audits is that the state, they have a requirement of 6 months after year of having financial statements. Read city. We've never had a problem with doing that, but we generally had pretty good figures to start with. Now, if we said we could do it within 6 months, that would be 6/30/18. No, 12/31 would be 17.
End of the year.
Yeah,
12/31/17.
but I don't want to get it done before then, so we get into tax season.
We can't do it by then.
But
I would think we could probably get it finished by the end of the year.
Oh, I know.
You could, I mean, that's what, you're saying, you need 6 months to do, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's probably the worst case.
That was, for your benefit, you don't want this hanging over you when,
No.
January 1st, tax season starts,
You're right. And see, that's what we ran into this past time. We had everything close, and then the trial balance changed, and had to redo all that. It's like, now there's a window there. We missed that window. And, like I said, in this case, the grants are important. We gotta get this thing done so you can get these grants done. And honestly, if I would put a priority on it to get it done, so that we won't even pushing the year in.
Just for your sanity, I think I would get it.
Oh, Eddie's become part of our office.
I know he is. Let me ask you this. The the one you're finishing up now, is there anything causing you discomfort?
No, I'm glad you brought that question. We discussed how to kind of present that, and I don't know the citizens' concern. You know, a lot of it just has to do with the old system, you know, the transition of the city clerk administrator, changes in auditing standards and review standards. It's a thing, and y'all were a little bit blindsided by that. I don't blame you guys. So you weren't kept up to date on what's going on.
You should.
We came in and we saw that this won't work, and so that's when got through the appropriate steps of getting an eye on it, and getting an outside person working to clean it up, and changing the software, and so. So everything's working in the right direction, but I feel bad that the city was called, and we were called, a lot of it just explaining how things work and how, but in the long run, you're gonna have better financial statements and clean, and better audit, more complete audit. And it does conform to the standards that are in place today.
Monty, any idea when you will have,
17? As soon as they finish, Jimmy's writing it up too, so when singing is done, it'll be ready for them. So maybe he said next week.
Yeah, that'd be great.
By the end of this month.
Yeah.
But I kind of diverged a little bit, but on that main thing, I do want to force it, is there a problem that we don't look for any, we don't look for problems. We do the audit. Sometimes problems become aware of things like that, and then we'll notify you in those cases. But for you and for the citizens, we're happy with the way things are. It's just been a process of pulling the numbers together, and the changes, but we're there.
Any more questions here?
Jared, did you have anything you wanted to add to this?
Well, I was still thinking about 6/30/17. If we get that by the end of this month, we have it probably 4 or 5 months. Provided, say, by the end of the year.
Yeah, we have sent confirmation.
But,
that type of thing.
we still have to say, well, that, we could run into something that we don't expect.
would you all be willing to provide us input maybe once a month, just to let us know where you are?
Well, I think one of the biggest problems we've had, it isn't so much with the audit, it's been with communication. And some of it's between me, I'll be honest, between me and Jerry, it's like, he might be telling somebody one thing, and I'm like, it's fine. And then I thought, wait a minute, it's not fine. We got to go to the council meeting. These things happen because, we get busy with our work, and we just forget to, oh, by the way, Eddie stopped by. And he just, like, well, that didn't have to helpful to know. These things come up. And we haven't done an adequate job of keeping you informed. And believe me, that's absolutely, if I had any major problem with this audit, is that we haven't had sufficient communication, and that's going to change. That's definitely going to
Well,
change.
I want to thank my colleague for going as often as he did to your office, about once a week, wasn't it, something along
I
that?
think about every 2 weeks, was it? Yeah.
About every 2 days.
Yeah, we had a cup of coffee there waiting for us.
And the city citizens should really appreciate it.
Yeah,
So.
and that's a good point. I mean, he was diligent, and he's always a gentleman, so I appreciate that.
It also helps that he has an accounting background, so.
Well, that's true.
He lost a lot of businesses
He might have done it faster than us.
Okay.
that went out of business.
Let's move
See,
on.
does anybody, Heidi, y'all have any questions ready for them?
I'd like to say a few things. I remember Jerry, we met with Jerry back in April of last year, and you gave us a timeline on 15, 16, and 17. And without sounding ugly, you guys just are not delivering what we need in the matter of audits. for whatever reason, and, you know, I hope that you guys can stick to your timeline. I hope that you can deliver our audits that we need, and I hope that we have a different result with your firm from here moving forward.
And I sincerely appreciate that. And you're right. As a lot of it is learning about the issues and problems, and there are changes. But I mean, I can do all the explanation, but with each audit, you learn more and you get a better familiarity to where the next one goes smoother. And I absolutely agree with you that, you know, when we get the reports, we'll keep you informed, but we'll push them. I mean, honestly, it's like, I don't want to have to come back up here and explain anything. I don't want Eddie to have to come by and say, what's going on? We're going to get it to you. I make a commitment.
Okay, what I'd like for you to do is push it. Like you say, let's get it done.
No, and I would, we enjoy our relationship with the city. Honestly, it's like, you know, sometimes it may not seem, but, you know, enjoy working with Mike and other people, the mayor, plus you and the other councilmen. We just appreciate it. We want to make the relationship right and build on it. And we thank you for the, you know, that opportunity.
Okay.
Appreciate you coming.
I have a question since this was not on the agenda. My question is for
We give
Mr.
you 5
Hawkins.
minutes.
Okay. Just quickly, a moment ago, you mentioned that you have other cities that you haven't had the same problems with. So my interest would be, what other cities or government corporations do you do annual audits for? And which other of those are on the list that's listed on the, can't think of the audit website for the state that's listed in that a delinquent category?
I'm not aware of any delinquents
That's what I expected.
that we have. I'm not aware of any.
Yeah, but even though we're current on every other city, don't let that be a reflection here, because there was a major change with the accounting software, the people, and standards. If the city officials had been aware that, you know, you got to tighten this up, if the, you know, prior accounting firm has said that, and if things had changed, they would have done it. But
With all
once we-
due respect, Ms. Chang has been in charge of this since 2016. So,
Yeah, but what she stepped into was work that somebody else had done that preceded her, and so.
for 15, you're correct.
Yeah, and there was a transition process, and so there was still some carryover from 15 into 16 with some of those issues, and that's why Jimmy Whitaker was working on that to clean it up. And he had to be brought in, because we can't we can't fix your books and audit our own work.
Understood.
And so he's cleaned it up, and he's working on 17, and then that should go smoother too.
But generally, you wouldn't need a Jimmy Whitaker to clean things up, quote, would you?
No, I'd say not generally, but like I said, and in fairness to everybody here, I don't think that they're aware of the situation, and that, you know, standards for the auditing were tightened up. You know, review, this type of stuff, it was tightened up, and so that a lot of things in the past were, well, we can fix this by doing
Right.
this. That we couldn't just plug it. We had to know why.
But other cities manage to keep up with
I
that.
won't say every city's perfect. I mean,
Not perfect, right?
Okay,
but
let's
but
move on. We've got
this
to
will
get
get
this
toward
business.
that. Thank you, Mayor. Yes.
Thank you. We appreciate y'all coming, Jim.
Okay. Right.
Talk to you. See you next week.
We'll have coffee for you.
Take care.
Have coffee.
All right, y'all take care.
Thanks for calling me, council meeting, June 6th, 2019. Okay, now you want to give me?
We're gonna open up for a hearing for the fiscal year 20 proposed budget.
I think everybody